And the main one with type 2 diabetes is diet.
Right.
You know, I mean, largely it's that we're eating too many calories all throughout the day. So put the fork down. And you know, people will say, well, we can't deny diabetics certain foods, or, you know, we can't deny them certain meals or whatever. And it's like, this is what I have to say. Either we deny them their chocolate cake, or we deny them their kidneys, their eyes, and their feet. They can take a pick. And I'm not saying that you can't cheat every once in a while, but you got to understand, you know, what the ramifications are for that cheating long term.
So here is where Shawn and I stand very strongly. One of the first patients I ever saw die was a diabetic, and it was sad. We see that throughout our practice, throughout time. We have friends, family, we have people in our community that we see that suffer from this. And the sad thing about it is they're not getting the answers that they need to actually help them. And, you know, when you see posts on social media about somebody having a heart attack and they're 47 years old, or they're having, you know, kidney failure, or they're having all these things, the sad thing about it is there's so many times it could have been preventable with lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Which didn't cost you thousands and thousands of dollars every month. It just cost you a choice, right? And I argue this with Shawn a lot. I'm sure if you live as healthy as you can be, you're going to eat more of the things that you like, maybe on a smaller scale, but over time you get to enjoy that. So it's not like we don't have a dessert or we don't have a treat. It's just that we don't indulge in it over the point. We have restrictions, and we live with it. And we've both had dietary issues and lifestyle issues. So we understand that it's an everyday decision, and small choices make a difference over time.
And what are some other things you can do as a type 2 diabetic to lower your insulin and increase and decrease your insulin resistance and make your insulin more effective that you're producing already? Fasting. Janet and I practice fasting regularly. We eat around our exercise, we eat around our workouts a lot, but we fast regularly for 24 hours, 18 to 20 hours, sometimes more, depending on our workout schedule. And what's going to happen is that if your glucose is high as a type 2 diabetic, you're going to produce more insulin, and you're going to keep your insulin high. So just think about this. If you fast for 16 hours, your glucose is going to go down because it's not in your gut anymore. Your glucose level is going to go down, and your insulin is going to go down to follow that. So that's a great way to decrease your glucose and insulin levels. What's another way?
Another way is to choose whether you're consuming sugars or not. So we base that around our activity, and Shawn likes to do, and we do some endurance things. So of course, on those days or those times, that's when we will have something different in our diet. But most days we choose to have a higher protein calorie source for our meals. And that makes a huge difference from the side of what the American SAD diet recommends, because that has the pyramid of, you know, as much sugar as you can at the bottom, and then slowly building up to proteins and then fats. So we've kind of flipped that in our own diet, and it's based on what we are doing, and we make a conscious choice. And I understand that sometimes those decisions can be hard, because when Shawn's traveling, you might have some limitations, but then we make sure that, for example, hey, you know, we know we're going to be, you know, on a plane, or we're going to be traveling here or there. So what can we do to make sure that that is not just all carbs? We choose to, like, for example, eat a breakfast that has nutrients like from eggs and bacon or sausage.